people? How are we doing today? Let's get a few things ready. How are we going for sound? Oh, come on, Watson, it's too early. Yep. He's good. All right. No, we didn't have any power outage. Right. So 8 o'clock, folks. I think we're a little bit early today. Partially, I'm early because I've got to go to the airport, and I'm kind of keeping track of a flight. You know, I was hoping she should be a bit early today, but unfortunately, a flight got delayed. But let's see, what time is that flight coming through? She estimated arrival 8:34. Ah, come on. What? Oh, that kind of sucks. All right, so what we're gonna do today is gonna pop through at where's my phone? Okay, it's all right. Watson will stop barking soon. No, I'm not going anywhere. Right, I've actually got my mum coming today from Australia, so just got to keep an eye on the flight. I think it's actually a little bit early by the looks of it, so I might have to just shoot off around 8:45. Yeah, because the flight's a little bit earlier. Okay, so what do we want to work on today? Because I mean, I'm happy to kind of go through. Last week we were doing I think we were doing some log questions. That was question 3 from the 2014 paper. Do you guys want to go through another particular question paper, or do we want to actually go through a particular topic? Let me know, and then we can actually go through. I mean, I'm happy to cover discriminants because that's always a good topic to kind of have. Yeah, let me know. I'll give you guys a couple of minutes to just see. Yeah, I think discriminants is a good one, Quandale. Cool. So let's do some discriminant questions. What I'll do is I'll pull up a couple of really simple questions, and then we'll actually go through that. So log questions, we did it last week, Mohammed. So I'm gonna kind of go through discriminant ones. So give me a second. I'll just pull up my old notes, and I'm sure I can pick up some discriminant questions. So where is it? Level 2 quadratic word problems. I usually have a ready-made set of questions to go. Give me a second. No, this is not the right year. 2021. Okay, got it. All right, so we'll start some basic questions, and then after that we'll kind of move very quickly into excellence questions. All right, so 2023. All right, so that is pretty much our first question for the night. And what I'll do is I'll actually give you guys about a couple of minutes, guys. This should be a really neat, simple one to get started for the day. And if you're not sure how to do this, don't stress too much, because we will actually go through all of these questions today, so it's not shouldn't be feeling too stressed. No, this is not a paper, guys. This is just some discriminant revision questions that I've had for a while. Lauren, I have to say, I think since last week, my emails and I've kind of struggled a little bit to keep up with all the messages everywhere. I'm trying to do the best I can. Where did you send that, Lauren? Did you send it to my email or Insta? Where did you send it? Is the question. I'll have a look. Oh no, I just got it. Find. Oh, yep. Okay, I see. Yep, that's a pretty cool question, Lauren. We might actually do that one. I'll probably just modify. No, probably we'll do the same thing. Just makes it easier. So question: if x equals 1 minus a, find the value of that. Oh, Jamie, honestly, you don't need to do that, buddy, because I keep saying this, you know, it's like you guys don't need to worry about this because particularly with Super Chat, because seriously, YouTube takes a good, nice little cut. So don't worry about YouTube Super Chats, guys. Just look after yourselves. All right, look, that's enough chatter. Let's go through with this question because, like I said to you guys, I wanted to start off with like a nice, simple question, and then we're going to move on. So how do we actually show something that doesn't cross the x-axis? So if you guys remember, you've got to actually work out b squared minus 4ac for this. All right, so if we do b squared minus 4ac, remember that when b squared minus 4ac is greater than 0, that's when the parabola doesn't actually cut the x-axis at all. All right, so there's two situations. One is that one of the situations looks like that, and the other situation is where the parabola is actually upside down like this. All right, so in this case, all we have to do is kind of prove that b squared minus 4ac is not greater than 0, sorry, less than 0. I just realized that, sorry, my mistake. So we've got a is equal to 1, b is equal to 4, c is equal to 9. When we do b squared minus 4ac, we're going to get 4 squared minus 4 times 1 times 9. We're going to get 16 minus 36, which is negative 20. And then we just write a little statement that says, since discriminant is less than 0, it does not cross the x-axis. Now this is pretty much an achieved question, guys, just to kind of like kick things off. Yeah, sorry about that little mistake at the start. I haven't done discriminants in a while, and it's just the memory is just coming back right now. Okay, is there any questions with that one? As always, I'll put the line numbers up. If you have any questions, feel free to kind of ask. Otherwise, I will actually put the I'll put the next question below it so you guys can kind of get started on the second question, so that if people have any questions with the first one, they could just kind of ask away. Good luck, Sarah. I don't know if you're still in the chat, but I'm not going on a plane. I'm actually picking up my special guest for tomorrow. Just want to make sure that none of my kids are actually here, otherwise it'll kind of ruin it for them. I don't think they're here. And as for this flight, 8:35 estimated arrival. Okay. All right, guys, so if you're good with question 1, we'll have a look at question 2. Now, question 2 ends up being one of those merit questions. So I'll just put that up there. I'll give you guys maybe a couple of minutes to try it out. So what is the time right now? 8:08. I'll actually go through this answer at 8:10 p.m. And in the meantime, I'll see if I can pick up another question. Oh, no, I'm going to do Lauren's question. Sorry, Lauren, I know you're here. I know Lauren's question is slightly off track here, but you know what, it's a good question. If I figure out how to zoom, oh yeah, there we go. Got another half a minute, guys, and then we'll go through this answer. All right, so let's start going through this question number 2 here. So with question number 2, what we've got is we want to get a range of values where it doesn't actually cross the x-axis. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually show you guys what the demonstration of the question as well, because sometimes you kind of go, what the hell, why are we actually figuring out these values and what's the purpose behind it? So what I'll do is I'm actually going to put this question up here. Where is my graph? PX. Okay, I see. Settings, let's just change this to cool. So what I've done is I'm just going to show you guys a little demonstration of what the question's actually asking, right? So we've got this parabola x squared plus bx plus 25. Now what I'm going to do is, let me see if I can get this correct. There we go. Reverse contrast. What does that do? Oh no, it's too dark. Let's go bold here. So what you guys will see is I've actually put the equation x squared plus bx plus 25. Now the question is actually asking for what values of p the parabola does not cross the x-axis. So let's say p is like minus 25. If p is minus 25, then it's actually crossing it at 2 points. However, if we bring it down to p is equal to what is it going to be, like somewhere here at minus 10, then the parabola is actually cutting it at one point, right? But at minus 9 and so on, the parabola is actually not cutting the x-axis at all. So if we kind of keep going this, eventually it's going to come back to positive 10, and as you can see at positive 10 it's actually cutting the x-axis once. But we want to find the range of values when this parabola, the range of values for p when this parabola is actually not cutting the x-axis. So that's what we're trying to figure out. Now if you have Desmos, of course, which you don't, if you have Desmos, you can kind of play around with it and you can see that, okay, at minus 10, so when p is between minus 10 and positive 10, the parabola is actually above the x-axis. So we already know the answer by looking, just kind of playing around with this. But the thing is, how do we then prove it with the working? All right, so how do you prove it? So I guess the first thing we got to do is when this parabola doesn't cross the x-axis, we know that the discriminant, which is b squared minus 4ac, has to be less than 0. So that's the first part that you need to know. Remember, it's not actually crossing the x-axis. So the next step is actually working out your discriminant. So you've got a is equal to 1, b is equal to p, c is equal to 25. When we substitute this in the equation, so b squared, that's actually p squared. So if you look at it, that's my p squared, and then I've got minus 4 times 1 times c, which is 25. And you can kind of see where that a is. So the a is 1, which is this part here, the coefficient of it, of x squared. And then finally the 25 is the c value, which happens to be the constant itself. So with that in mind, we can kind of expand, well, kind of simplify this. We're going to get p squared minus 100 is less than 0. So we want to figure out when is this particular graph less than 0. Now what you can do is you can actually put this equal to 0 and work out the two solutions. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of do this. P squared minus 100 is equal to 0. Now in this case we've got a very nice quadratic. We don't actually even need to do the quadratic equation. We could just rearrange this as p squared equals to 0 plus 100 is just 100. And then p is equal to square root of 100. So p is equal to plus or minus 10. All right. So if that's the case, then I'm going to draw my little parabola, which is going to look like this. And then there's my x-axis. And I've got my two values here. So my first value is minus 10 and my second value is positive 10. So if you look at the zone where it's going to be less than 0, so the less than 0 zone is in here, and so we can actually write this answer as between minus 10, p is between minus 10 and positive 10. And if you guys remember, when I go back to the graph there, let me show you guys the graph. So in the graph here, you can see that when p is equal to 10, the parabola is actually touching the x-axis, but when it's less than 10, it is not touching the x-axis. And then when it's minus 10, if I can get this right, it is touching the x-axis, but anything greater than minus 10, and it won't. So it's between minus 10 and positive 10 that it's actually not going to touch the, it's not going to cross the x-axis at all. So that's pretty much for this question. What I'll do is I'll put up some line numbers, and I can see a couple of questions popping up on the chats there. I'll try and get to it. How do we identify a discriminant question? Like, is it when the question asks if it cuts the x-axis, or how will they ask it? So Gracie, there's you know, like sometimes they ask you things like how many solutions, like does it have two solutions, one solution, no solution, equal roots, equal solutions, when the y value is negative, when the y value is positive, because that's like saying if the y value is positive, then the whole graph is actually above the x-axis. When the y value is negative, the graph is actually below the x-axis. So Gracie, my recommendation is like there's a few discriminant videos that I've done in the past where we've talked about a lot of these types of questions, different varieties of these types of questions that you can actually have a look at, and so you kind of start getting used to the language that they use. If I'm correct, I think it was, I'm trying to see, when did I do this tutorial? 31st of August 2021. So there's a tutorial that I did on that. So if you just look in the Algebra level 2 streams, find the 31st August 21 tutorial, and it's got a big section of questions on discriminant and the different types of questions that you could potentially be asked. They'll ask. No idea who that is, Arena. That's a bit stink. Yeah, I might have checked what flight that was. That better not be mum flying over. That's, yeah. Sorry guys, just give me a second. Just want to check if it is that flight. Which one just flew over? Oh no, that's ANZ. That's not the one. Oh, you can see her flying around. Jeez, this is... level 3 complex numbers, we're actually doing it tomorrow, Juan. Okay. Yeah, so this is what you guys can do. You can actually have a look at it. All right, flight radar 24, ANZ 106. That's the one, I think. NZ 106. Yep, there she is. Mom's on the way. So guys, I've got one question to try and do this. So Lauren, I'm going to try and do your question, and then I've got to run to pick her up. Yep. Do not want to get in trouble with Mom. Okay, so Lauren, this is the question that you kind of sent me. So this was Lauren's question. Now, guys, if you do have any questions, feel free to send it on the email. But what I'd really love is if you could actually, even if it's just the final answer, if you could just flick it over, because sometimes I work through things and I make a mistake, and then like if I have the answer with me, it kind of makes it a little bit easier to kind of go, oh yep, I know where I made my mistake and I can figure it out. CU Master, we'll definitely be doing all the way till the end of November, my friend. So I think we've got another 2 months of non-stop tutorials every week, even during the holidays. So we'll do more of it. Now, as for this question, I am going to give you guys about, I don't know, just have a go just to see how far you go with this question, and then I'll actually go through this soon. Come on, they've, like, seriously, I actually honestly thought I had enough tutorial time, because look at that time. They said scheduled was 8:55, so I was like, I'm gonna finish this tutorial and then I'm gonna go pick her up. And then now they've changed the flight to 8:25. It's just talk about, I need to finish my coffee and go pick her up. So, but anyway, look, let's try and do this one. Rice, it takes me about 10-15 minutes. Nah, Sue, I can't do that. She's actually bringing like home cooked food for me. This is the first time she's visiting me in like 5 years. See, she was supposed to come early because I was going to surprise you guys. She was going to come and jump on the stream, but unfortunately tomorrow she's flying out tomorrow to Vancouver, and yeah, it's kind of sucky, so she's going to miss tomorrow's stream as well. But she might come back maybe during the holidays. She might jump on one of the streams. By the way, she is a maths teacher, so that's why I kind of wanted her to come along and have a chat with you guys, because that would have been really cool, just to see mum come in the stream, so, and jump on and give her wisdom. Oh, that's a tough one, Riku. That is a super tough one. I gotta have both, man. Then it's not a pizza. Okay, so this is like, I find this question a bit full on, right? Because like the way they've asked this question, the question is like, if this equals this, then find in terms of A, but they don't really talk about anything else in this question. I think, Lauren, I don't know if there was extra bits for this question, so let's kind of work through this, because I mean, like, if you think about it, if they're asking for find in terms of A the value of this, so because x is equal to this entire thing, basically I'm just going to substitute x in there. So when I do this, I'm going to get 1 minus, instead of x squared, I'm going to have 1 minus a over 1 plus a squared divided by 1 plus 1 minus a 1 plus a squared. So at this point, what we've got is we've got this big fraction here, right? So we've got to expand the brackets. But before I do that, what I'm going to do is remind me tomorrow. We're going to do 1 minus a squared divided by 1 plus a squared, and the whole thing is divided by 1 plus 1 minus a squared over 1 plus a squared. All right, so basically what I've done here is all I've done is I've just kind of put this as one fraction. Now the next thing is, remember we talked about this, like we kind of need to have the same denominator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to replace this 1 with 1 plus a squared, 1 plus a squared. Now the reason I did that was because I could have two terms that are the same in the numerator and the denominator, and it'll actually equal to 1. All right, so that's what I've done there. And I'm going to do the same in this side for this one. So I'm going to have 1 plus a squared divided by 1 plus a squared. Now you might be wondering, why did I choose 1 plus a squared? Because that's what the denominator is in those respective fractions. So when I do that, my next line, I'm going to write this as 1 plus a squared minus 1 minus a squared divided by 1 plus a squared. Now that's just the numerator part. Then the whole thing is divided by the denominator, which happens to be 1 plus a squared plus 1 plus a squared divided by 1 plus a squared. So I'm hoping that you guys can see this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of put some boxes around, so you can see that the yellow box is the numerator and the green box is the denominator. Ah, come on. Yeah, that's all right. That's definitely Mum's flight flying over. Right. Okay. So I've got to fly through this, guys. I'm really sorry, but God, talk about pressure, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to write the yellow box first, which is going to be 1 plus a squared minus 1 minus a squared divided by 1 plus a squared. Now this is divided by 1 plus a squared plus 1 plus a squared. Oh, I see the mistake. Should have been 1 minus. Sorry. Divided by 1 plus a squared. So all I've done is, that's my yellow box and that's my green box. Now remember, guys, when you divide a fraction, it's the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal. So I could actually do 1 plus a squared minus 1 minus a squared divided by 1 plus a squared multiplied by 1 plus a squared divided by 1 plus a squared plus 1 minus a squared. So all I've done is I've just flipped over that fraction in the green box, and when I do that I can cancel out the 1 plus a squareds, and I'm left over with just those two brackets on the top, right? So I've actually got 1 plus a squared. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to work on this side here because I'm starting to lose a bit of space. And that's divided by 1 plus a squared plus 1 minus a squared. Now unfortunately we need to actually expand this. So when we expand this, we're going to get 1 plus 2a plus a squared minus 1 minus 2a plus a squared divided by 1 plus 2a plus a squared plus 1 minus 2a plus a squared. So in the top we have 1 plus 2a plus a squared minus 1 plus 2a minus a squared. In the denominator I've got 2 plus 2a squared. Going back to the numerator, 1 minus 1 is 0, 2a plus 2a is 4a. So I've got 4a divided by 2 plus 2a squared. 2 is a common factor, which I can take out. My 2's cancel out, which leaves me with 2a over that. Now, how far is the flight? Hasn't landed yet. Nope. Has it landed? Yep, it's landed. Cool. So what I'm going to do, guys, I will quickly answer some questions. I'm going to put some line numbers up. And I'm super sorry. The flight got early today, so I've got to run through. Alright, what do I got? Last of them, I'm going to be get again. Okay, so all right, Lauren, hopefully that helped. Citizen 17, there is a rumor going around that maybe this week there's going to be like a little how do I say it? I don't even know how to say it. Just keep an eye on TikTok. Something is coming. Yeah, I know, Jack, but I've got to actually drive there, find parking, and go grab her. So, cool. What I'll do is I will just kind of give you guys some time to see if there's any questions, and then we'll actually give you guys. Yeah, probably we'll have to call it, unfortunately, today with this one, just because, yeah, haven't seen Mum in a long time, so need to go pick her up. Yeah, Jamie, well, not really going. Gracie, would that be an excellence question? According to the schedule that was sent to me, it was an excellence question. Yeah, Citizen, I've had quite a number of people that have been kind of bugging me about it. So yeah, I don't know, maybe I'll have a look. I mean, I'll actually open the exam paper and have a look at it. Jack, this is an excellence question, but just for rearranging. I'll definitely catch up with a half an hour that I missed with you guys soon, all right? Because it's I know it's a bit sucky, but yeah. And New Zealand is like on time. Oh no, this is not a hard excellence question, Mohammed. It's just learning how to rearrange, simplify algebra. So I would more put it in the more kind of high merit type of question, but definitely I've seen some more trickier excellence questions. I wouldn't call them hard, I just call them tricky, because you know, like, excellence questions are actually meant to kind of challenge you. So yeah. Love it, Finn. Thank you so much for the compliment there and the endorsement. That's sweet. Hey guys, look, yeah, like I said, normally I'd hang around and have a chat, but I'm kind of like super excited about this. Gotta go pick up Mum. So I will. I think at the moment week 10 timetable looks a bit thin, because I'm doing calculus on complex numbers tomorrow, and then I'm doing level 1 TEG on Tuesday. But once the holidays start, I'll be back on Sunday, first week of holidays, and I'll catch up with that extra algebra session that we kind of missed out today. So we'll start off with algebra next week, Sunday, and we'll try and do this throughout the holidays. All right. So with that, I'm gonna kind of slowly start backing up. But yeah, thank you guys for coming today. Appreciate it. And also, like, on a completely different note, I know that last week, during this time, I had the camera crew in here, and it was a lot of fun, I have to say. Like, I mean, the whole experience has been like super crazy. But I have to say it's big thanks to all the support that you guys have been kind of doing in the background. I really appreciate it. So yeah, it's like I can't believe a week ago, all of this happened, and like, Insta is kind of like crazy, my subscribers crazy, and TikTok is crazy, whatever. But the most important thing is, like, my mom was like super excited seeing all of this, and yeah, so she is she's traveling. She's supposed to come visit me next week, but she's actually here because of one of the flights got messed up, so she's here for a day, and yeah, I'm looking forward to spending it with her. But as for you guys, stay safe, and I will catch you guys next week. All right, till then, enjoy the last week, guys. And if you do get those mock exams, my suggestion is, if you have any questions, just keep screenshots of them. See if you can get answer screenshots as well, and then chuck it up, send it to me, and then we'll try and work through those questions, or parallel questions of those. All right, till then, take care, and I will see you guys later.